Rebel Yell Podcast, Trib Live High School Sports Network. Stretch run of the 2025 high school football season underway. Began this past Friday with week 7. We'll continue in week 8 and then week 9, wrapping up the regular season. November football straight ahead, the WPIAL playoffs. Man, what a fun time of year. We're getting into the postseason for volleyball and soccer and blink, and then we'll be there for football. One of the teams that will definitely be there, and one of the players that everybody wants to kind of see before his high school career ends, is our WPIAL Week 7 Player of the Week, Matt Sieg of Fort Cherry. Senior quarterback is kind enough to join us. Old friend of the program. Matthew, again, we appreciate your time. You're always, I know there's, because of the success that you've had, there's a lot of asked of you, especially from us dopes in the media, for your time, and you've always been, great with me, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Well, another record bites the dust. Sort of anticlimactic because I think you only needed 23, 32, one of the numbers to break the great Lenny Williams record. He was the outstanding quarterback at Stowe Rocks back in the Vikings heydays, 2010 through 2013. This is total yards from scrimmage. So that's passing yards and also rushing yards. Matt broke the WPIAL touchdown record a few weeks ago. He now owns the total yardage record, and he did so in dramatic fashion. Was it first play from scrimmage, 70-yard touchdown run?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, let's get this thing over with, right?
I guess so. Yeah, it was. I didn't really think about it too much going in the game because it was a short amount of yards, so I figured I'd get it. But to do it on the first play was kind of a little weight off the shoulders.
How big too? I mean, this is a big game. I mean, every game. A coach will tell a player or tell his players every game is critical, and that's true. You don't want to sort of go through the motions and then get stung by a team that maybe doesn't have the talent that you have. But this was a big game. This has become a great rivalry in your time at Fort Cherry, the Rangers and the Crusaders of Bishop Canevin. So how big was that, not only record-wise, but just to get the game started on a high note for the Rangers?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a great start. Like you said, it's always a good game between us and Canevin. They're a great team. They got a bunch of great athletes, great coaches, and it's been a dogfight with them the past couple years. I mean, just to start off the way that we did, it was definitely a way to get the energy flowing and get the nerves out. So it was a great game and one that we look forward to all week, and we prepared hard and we had a good game plan. And that was a big game for us, and it was huge to get the win the way we did.
Yeah, another beautiful night weather-wise, so thus a pretty big crowd on hand at Jim Gary Stadium at Fort Cherry. The big crowds, does that add? Like, if you go out there and there's a couple hundred people in the stands, you're still going to be fired up and you're still going to do Matt Sieg things. But, when you get the big crowds and a lot of energy in a big game atmosphere, do the butterflies fly a little harder?
Definitely. I mean, the past 2 years we played them away, and I mean that's always a big game within the community. That's the one the people are talking about even in the summer. So to be able to have them at home this year, and we played them at home freshman year, we got killed. I think it was like 60-7. Like we got destroyed. So to be able to get them at home and get them this time and kind of run away with it was definitely a good way of revenge for the seniors, I'd say. And to be able to do it in front of the huge crowd in the community on a nice night. I mean, there's no better place to play than Jim Gary Stadium on a Friday night, and the new turf and everything. It's beautiful. It's really fun.
Looks awesome. Do you like it?
I love it. It's it's super nice. It's a game changer just to be able to practice on it all week, and you don't have to worry about the mud and the rain and whatever. So I mean, it's a game changer for us.
Do you, as a player with your skill and abilities, would you rather play on the natural surface where things can get a little murky, or are you more built for a turf field?
I don't mind like a nice grass field, but like I mean, some grass fields that we've played on are just super thick and you kind of feel slow in them. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the turf. I feel like as a team we feel a lot faster and more fluid in all aspects of the game on it. It just feels smoother.
3 long touchdown runs highlight your evening in a big win over Bishop Canevin. The 70-yarder we just talked about, a 28-yarder also in the first quarter, and then I think it was third quarter, a 46-yard touchdown run. What stood out about those runs? What are, as you look back at those 3 plays, similar, very different? What really stood out?
They were actually all on 3 different plays, but it was just, I mean, I want to give a shout out to our line. Obviously,
Sure.
not being able to throw the past couple of weeks, we've just been running the ball. And I know we had 280 yards rushing in the first half, and we ended up with over 400. And that's a good team, too. Like, they got some good linemen, good line DBs. So, all around, just super proud of our linemen being able to go in week in and week out, and be able to move people the way they have. I know we've had over 900 yards rushing the past 2 weeks. So a big shout out to our line and our coaches, Coach Lou and Coach Tony on the line. They're doing a great job. And I mean, it wouldn't be possible without all them, especially being so one-dimensional right now. So whenever you go into a game and, you're able to score first play of both halves really from offense and just be able to move people around, you always feel good moving forward.
Glad you gave a tip of the cap to the big boys up front. Deserved. I always said, when you're facing an offense, whether it's one-dimensional because of injury or whether it's just, hey, this is what we do. We run the ball like the old McKeesport teams with the flex bone.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that if they threw a pass, it was kind of an upset. But those kind of teams where you know what they're going to do and yet they're still having success, that's got to be a pretty neat feeling. I mean, if you also play on the other side of the ball, put yourself in their shoes where you know what a team's going to do, and yet they're able to do it. That's very demoralizing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been on both sides of it, so we know the feeling both ways. And whenever we're able to wear a team down like that, we don't take it for granted. That's our goal every week, to go out physical the other team for 4 quarters. And it's definitely a great feeling when you get people to start caving in and just demoralizing them every snap, when chunking them away. So yeah, it's just a great job by the line and our receivers too, being unselfish. They're not getting passes right now, but they're blocking their butts off, and it's impressive, and it's just a great team effort.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because in seeing you guys last year, watched a little bit of last night. My first chance to see you guys here in 2025. I think it's important that we emphasize you are a special athlete. You're obviously going to be legendary when your time is done. However, if folks think that this is Matt Sieg and the Pips, they're very much mistaken. And do you know what that reference is, Matt Sieg and the Pips? Do you know that reference? It's a musical reference.
I do not.
All right, I didn't expect you would. Your parents might. It's a there was an artist, Gladys Knight, and her background singers were called the Pips. It was Gladys Knight and the Pips, and she got the headlines, but they did what they needed to do.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of like what you guys are doing. You guys, I mean, this is, if you graduated early and left, this would still be a good Fort Cherry team. There are a lot of weapons. You make it a special unit, but nonetheless, I'm glad that you're emphasizing team because this is a pretty good team.
100%. I mean, I think honestly, sometimes the success that I'm able to have just kind of overlooks some of our other guys. But I mean, there's a lot of kids on that team that deserve a lot of credit and a lot of attention that they don't end up getting. I mean, we got a lot of hard workers, and it's just a program that everyone's been able to buy into. And I mean, we're just great on both sides of the ball. I mean, we have a ton of speed that a lot of teams
Right.
don't. We're able to just outrun some teams and out physical them at the same time. Um, I mean, obviously our line, we lost our whole line from last year. We have one returning starter from our line last year. And, this is basically a whole new unit, and we're just replenishing and just still moving people like we did before, if not better. And, defensively, we got a lot better as well. We feel a lot more confident in our speed, and our linebackers took a great jump, Tyler Wolf and Ryan Huey. And then not to mention on offense, we got 3 running backs really that have, they're close in speed to me. And I mean, that's got to be insanely hard to stop as a defense. Sometimes there's 3 guys in the backfield that you have to worry about, that they can break tackles and break long runs and make plays. So I mean, there's just a lot of great athletes that we have at our school right now, and it's a great group of guys to be able to play with. And unfortunately, I feel like they do get overshadowed sometimes,
Yeah.
whereas they deserve a lot of credit.
Well, I'm glad you're here to give them that credit because they do deserve it. Matt Sieg of Fort Cherry is our WPIAL Week 7 Player of the Week. 285 yards rushing. He breaks the all-time total yardage record in the WPIAL. 3 long touchdown runs, but 5 touchdowns total, I should say. Let's talk about the other 2. We mentioned the long touchdown runs. First, a 55-yard punt return. Talk about that.
Yeah. So it was a big part of the second half. We stopped them coming out. We forced a fumble coming out of halftime, then we scored. So I think that put us up by 3 touchdowns, and we were able to get another stop, big play on 4th down, and they had to punt, and we knew that we didn't really expect a punt return because we hadn't really been getting a punt to return yet that night. So we expected some good field position. We wanted to go down and get another drive and kind of put the game away. But they kicked it, and it was a shorter kick, but it bounced right up to me, so I was able to take off with it. And we had a bunch of blockers down the left side. I made one guy miss, and then it was off to the races. And that was definitely a huge play for the whole special teams unit, just be able to be effective in 3 aspects of the game. That's definitely I mean, if you can't stop 3 aspects of the game, you're not going to win the game.
Yeah. Yep.
Be able to be firing on all cylinders last night was super fun.
Icing on the cake, or perhaps the cherry on top of the cake, if you will. You guys are up 52-19, 86-yard pick 6. Again, I think around these parts, we know you for your exploits on offense. It's going to be your exploits on defense that will carry the day at the next level, and that was on display with that 86-yard pick 6. Had to be a lot of fun.
Definitely. I mean, we're nearing the end of the game. We didn't want to give up any more points, and they were making plays. I mean, they have a lot of great athletes. They had a deep ball, and they hit a screen that went for a good bit. So they chunked us a little bit on that last drive, and we were able to lock it down and dig in, and not let any points up. We stopped another screen, and then we had a big open field tackle to force a longer 4th down. So we knew they were going to try to get to the end zone. So we just put 2 deep and read the quarterback's eyes, and he missed his receiver, went over his head a little bit, and I was able to pick it up and go. And shout out to we had Tyler Wolf and Terrell Cooper running their butts down the field out in front of me. They're out in front of me, and they were able to get some good blocks that helped me get in the end zone. So again, just a total team effort. I mean, games like that are fun to be able to be firing on all cylinders like that.
Well done editing yourself there. That was very good. Well done. I wouldn't have scolded you if you wouldn't have edited yourself, but for all the little kids watching, that's good. Nice job. 59-19. Fort Cherry over Bishop Canevin. First conference loss for the Crusaders. Pretty much wraps up the Black Hills Conference for you guys. Still 2 weeks remaining in the regular season before November football begins. Is that a statement victory, beating such a very good team that handily?
I think so. I think that was a huge step for us, not only to show other people what we can do, but as a team just to have confidence moving forward.
Right.
that was a great team, and we knew that coming in. We knew it was going to be a dogfight, and be able to go out there and run away with it like that is definitely huge for us. And there's a lot of people coming in, like a lot of people in the media picking against us, and to be able to show them that it wasn't even close, really is definitely a big statement for us.
Oh, silly ones. Silly. Well, you're number one in our rankings. You're number one in our state rankings too, by the way. So, who cares about everyone else? 59-19. Bishop Canada was ranked number 3 behind you guys, and I think you know who number 2 is.
Mm.
And the other 2 that are ranked, both were winners, Laurel and Southside. They meet in a Big 7 conference showdown. So we're getting closer to where you have to start worrying about those kind of teams. Teams in other conferences as we get closer to the playoffs. So you mentioned you guys have been one-dimensional. I think you've thrown one pass over the last 4 weeks. I think it finally came out that you were dealing with some sort of arm injury. Obviously, hasn't hurt your prowess in running the football. Can you give us any sort of update on the bad wing?
Yeah, it's getting a lot better. Just a lot of soreness, and it's been tough to really have a lot of mobility the past couple of weeks. I've gotten it checked out. Nothing's really wrong with it.
Good.
Long-term thing. So just kind of trying to get better week to week, and hopefully be able to throw here soon.
Is it feeling better?
Yeah, definitely on the upswing. Definitely, hopefully, a week or two, if not sooner, removed from being able to throw again.
So you're expecting that come playoff time, you should be pretty much ready to crank it up.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Was it? And again, you don't have to get into specifics, but was it one play that it was banged up on? I remember talking to you. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago. We've talked so many times, and you said you got hit, and you thought, "Oh my gosh, my arm is broken," or something like that, and it turned out it obviously wasn't. Was it one play, or is this just something that has kind of built up?
There was when we played, it actually happened against Chartiers Houston. I don't really remember what happened to it. I remember it getting super tight, and then the next day I could barely move it, and I've been going to physical therapy to get it all fixed out, and then a couple weeks ago I kind of re-aggravated it trying to make a tackle, so that's why it's been a lot longer than it probably should have been. So we're just kind of be safe with it and be careful and hopefully avoid that happening.
That's the scary part, is you guys have become one-dimensional this past month, and yet are still winning and winning handily. Well, once you get to the point where you're healthy enough to be chucking that ball here, there, and everywhere, oof, my goodness gracious, look out. I also need to bring up your commitment. You have committed to Penn State, have done so for a while now. You're nearing the point as a senior where you can make that official, but you are still, as we are hearing others who committed to Penn State sort of backing off, you are still rock solid in Happy Valley.
Yes, sir. I'm locked in with Coach Franklin and all the other coaches and staff there. I mean, they do a great job. There's been 2 bad games. You know what I mean? It's a great program. They develop players like no other program, and I mean that it's a family atmosphere. Like it's something that I want to be a part of, and I'm excited to be a part of. And I think a lot of people are overreacting a lot right now. And I'm not worried about their future and whatnot. I know they're going to turn it around, and I'm excited to hopefully contribute to that in years to come.
Yeah, we were sort of talking beforehand, and you mentioned that once you commit doesn't mean that the schools peel off, and especially if you commit when you're young. We see guys now as sophomores or even juniors making that commitment to a school, but other schools are still coming at you. How tough is that to deal with? Is it something that once you make up your mind, it should not be that big of a deal, and you communicate to those who are still coming at you, and then eventually it dies down? Or can it become kind of overwhelming?
It can definitely become kind of overwhelming because you make a commitment to a program, that's obviously a big deal. And then
Right.
the fact that some other big programs are still coming after you, and it's definitely tough to be able to like, oh man, maybe if I could just go see this place just to see it, because I mean, obviously growing up being a big football fan, and some schools that you've never seen, and the opportunity to see it is just super cool. So I definitely understand that for a lot of the guys going through it right now. But for me, what my parents and my family was about was I ended up committing pretty early, but the thing with the commitment was that I got to be sure, like if any
Right.
you got to think about any other school that might come along, would you want to go see, or are you set on being a Nittany Lion? And I thought about it long and hard, and ultimately I was good where I was gonna decide to go, and that was a program that I wanted to be a part of. And I mean, there are some schools that came along after that, were enticing and would have been cool to be able to go check out. But I'm happy with my
Yeah.
commitment.
I think there's unfair in this day and age where recruiting has become what it is, and some of it, which I'm not a big fan of. But when you get a highly recruited player, there's pressures on that young. We're talking 17, 18-year-old young men or young women, depending on the sport. And the urgency to, hey, make a decision. Why haven't you made a decision? Why? Because it's an important decision. Yes, in this day and age, that can change in a couple years. But for now, where do you want to start? And if you take your time because you're not sure, that's fine. That's okay. I think that people who kind of pressure young athletes like yourself into hurrying up to make a decision, this is a very important decision. Take your time. And like you said, when you make it, you realize that, you've made the right decision. And again, thankfully, in this day and age, it's not binding for like your whole entire career. You can make changes if down the road you deem so necessary. So, good words of wisdom by yourself there. All right, so you're ready to have a little bit of fun?
Oh yeah.
It's just a little bit, not a
All
whole lot.
right.
No, we're still in the middle of the season, so we can't have too much fun. Just a little bit of fun.
Gotcha.
So this was inspired by my grandson, who's a freshman now. He just started high school. He's out in California somewhere. So he was teaching me the teenage language over the summer. So so this game is called Fire, Mid, or Dust.
All right.
Dust is bad, mid is what it is, and
Yeah.
fire is good, right?
Gotcha. Yep. Yep.
It's like the caveman days. Fire good. Um, so I'll give you three things, and you rank them accordingly.
All right.
All right. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you're a Steeler fan, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to start off. Ravens, Bengals, Browns.
Dust, dust, dust.
Ah, nice. Woo! Wait a second. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Standing ovation. Dust, dust, dust. Oh, is that beautiful? My respect for you just continues to grow by leaps and bounds. All right. Country, rock, or rap?
Ooh, see, I'm a big fan of all of it. I like a lot of different types of music.
Okay.
If I had to, I'd go rock, fire, rap, mid, and country dust. Even though I like a lot of country songs, but I'd say if I had to choose, I'd listen to rap or rock over country.
I appreciate that your musical tastes are diverse. That's good. Cookies. Chocolate chip, Oreo, or Snickerdoodle?
Chocolate chip, fire, Snickerdoodle, mid, and Oreo dust.
You're not a big Oreo guy?
Not hugely.
Okay.
My mom makes some really, really good chocolate chip cookies, and so that's usually too.
A homemade, there is nothing better than a homemade chocolate right
No,
out of the oven. Oh,
yeah.
oh, oh. I'm losing focus here. All right. Toast, bagels, English muffins.
Bagels fire, toast mid, English muffins dust.
What do you put on your bagel?
Anything. I like cream cheese. I like just some plain old butter. I like
Yeah.
any type of jelly.
But you always toast it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said that they eat it plain. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, that's I haven't heard that before.
No, that's like all gooey too. It's not even like
Yeah.
bread. You could grab a piece of bread real quick and eat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's no. All right. Movies. Do you prefer comedies, action thrillers, or horror movies?
I'm not a big horror guy. I like comedies and action.
You still got to rank them, dude. You got to put.
Okay.
What category?
Okay, so we'll go horror dust.
Yes.
I'll go action fire, and comedy mid.
Yeah, a lot of what you're saying here, I really agree with. So okay, how you watching it? Phone, TV, or movie theater?
TV fire, movie theater mid, and phone dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tough to get really into it on such a small.
Yeah. Good call. Pretzels. You good with pretzels?
Yeah.
Regular pretzel, the little squiggly shaped regular pretzel. The thick, hard ones, Bavarian or whatever they're called, the real big, or the soft ones, the big soft ones.
Like concession stand soft?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go Bavarian dust. I'll go concession stand mid, and then just the regular ones fire.
Okay, good call. All right, last one. Chicken, steak, seafood.
Oh, you can't go wrong with any of them. But I'd go steak fire.
I allowed dust for your first one. I will allow fire if you choose.
I would choose fire. All
right. It is allowed. Judge says good. Judge also again wants to give you a big hand. The things that you've accomplished. Wait a second, I gotta get him in here. There he is, huh? Big hand for Matt Sieg. Not only a tremendous athlete, but it's been a pleasure to get to know him as a young man, and he checks off all the boxes. Matt, appreciate your time. Congratulations on another record. Congratulations on the big win, more importantly, and continued success. Get healthy, stay healthy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
All right. Matt Sieg, senior quarterback from Fort Cherry High School, undefeated. Fort Cherry High School, our Week 7 WPIAL Player of the Week. We thank him for joining us. We thank our producer, Chris Lackner, as well. I'm Don Rebel. Thank you for joining us on the Rebel Yell podcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.